morning. My name is Jordan Walton. I am a 10th grade student here at Albany High School. I'm currently taking audio video class 2. Today our guest is Chief Michael Persley of Albany Police Department, and he is here to answer a couple questions and tips for we have for the holidays. So our first question is, you are the Chief of Police. This is an extraordinary title. What influenced you to join law enforcement?
Well, that's a good question, Jordan. I've always wanted to do this ever since I was a young child. My father used to look at old police shows, way before your time, but it was things called the Blue Knight, Chips, Ironside, Kojak, those type law enforcement shows. So it was something that always interested me. The biggest show that interested me was Chips. It was about the California Highway Patrol. And I knew I wanted to be a police officer and ride motorcycles. But I became a police officer, but I don't like riding motorcycles, however. But, just some early influences from my family and just a desire something I want to do.
It's good to hear about your background, but how long have you been in law enforcement?
This December will be 23 years that I've been in law enforcement. I was hired by Chief Washington Long. He was the first black chief of police for the Albany Police Department, and he was the last chief who started, his whole career was spent internally within the department. So December 27th of this year will be my 23rd anniversary, and looking forward to having many more years here.
What are your duties as the Chief of Police?
Primarily, I'm responsible for all of the enforcement of laws and the investigation of any crimes and violations of ordinances in the city of Albany. Now, per se, I'm not the one who's out there writing the tickets, making the arrests, or writing the reports, but I am the one to make sure that our operations are running smoothly. I also oversee the budget of the police department, and then other things such as the recruiting, our currently, our CALEA accreditation and state certifications, and we have other items such as our community relations unit, and things that I oversee to make sure that the operations of the police department, it goes on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, I don't work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, but it ultimately rests with me that things are running smoothly.
Where were you before coming to the Good Life City, and what were contributing factors in your decision to move here?
Well, and that's one thing a lot of people really kind of overlook, is that I'm born and raised here in Albany, and that this has been my only law enforcement job. And the reason a lot of people ask is because I really didn't make a big fuss about anything, or I wasn't that noticeable before I became the chief here. However, I spent 22 years, at the same time, spent 22 years in the Army National Guard. So, and I'm 44, so half of my life has been devoted to the city of Albany and to serving our country. So, this is my life, and it has been my life.
What do you plan to implement during your reign as Albany Chief of Police?
They always ask people, what is your goal? What is your hidden agenda? And I'll tell you, my hidden agenda is that I want to make the Albany Police Department the model law enforcement agency for South of Georgia. Not to say that we're always doing things right, but we're doing the best practices. We have a great relationship with the community, which we do. And, we're always on the cutting edge of concepts, technology, practices. I want for people to remember that the police and the community, they are one. There's no division, and is that we're the guardians of the community. So that whomever, if you live here or if you're just a visitor, that if you ever need the services of the police department, that you'll get professional and efficient services.
I got some holiday tips for teens.
Okay.
What are some activities teens typically get into when they have too much time on their hands?
Well, everyone needs a break, and that's the good thing about being in school, is that you do get a holiday break. I wish they had holiday breaks after you're out of school, but we do understand that they'll be spending a lot of time with each other, hanging out here and there. Preferably, we want them to go out and just do some fun activities. Now, when you do go, we just want you to make sure that you don't fall in with the wrong crowd, or if you have too much idle time on your hands, then you tend to do things that you typically wouldn't do, or go places you typically wouldn't go. So, for instance, if you're going to the mall to hang out, go to the mall. If you go to the mall to steal something, don't do that. That'll mess up your holiday spirit. And also, with having free time, you're being out and kind of going unaccounted for during the day and possibly during the night, is that some people who are out to do wrong, don't fall in with them. Do your own thing, because you want to enjoy the holiday season. You don't want to have to enjoy the holiday season and you're either in jail or at RYDC, or you have a charge of some type, and that's nothing really to brag about when you come back to school.
Make sure you keep them out of trouble. Why is it important for teens to stay out of trouble?
Decisions that you make at an early age can affect you later on in life. For instance, you have some guys who are classified as sex offenders, and they have to register as sex offenders for the rest of their life because they were 17 and they had sexual intercourse with a girl who was 15, and it was consensual, but they may have been charged with statutory rape. Also, you have children or juveniles, I would say, if they commit one of the 7 deadly sins, then instead of being charged as a juvenile and you kind of get a slap on the wrist, you get charged as an adult, and you have to face those consequences. So I know some people believe that you can do anything, you're young and you can turn it around, but you have to be careful about the decisions that you make, especially as a teenager, because they can severely affect you once you're an adult.
I don't want to see any of my friends behind bars. When is it the best time for teens to hang out?
I would say, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to volunteer, and doing your civic duty of volunteering is always a good thing to do. So, anything early hours to, in volunteering now, early hours of the morning, going out to a homeless shelter, doing a project, Habitat for Humanity, doing a neighborhood cleanup, that's fine. But just be out with your friends, enjoying yourselves. Don't stay out too late at night. I'll be honest and tell you, after 10 o'clock at night, it ain't much good stuff that can possibly happen. So if you plan your day the right way, and you can have a fun-fulfilled day, and because there are a lot of people out there who are looking for unsuspecting victims. And I understand that, a 16 or 17-year-old may think they kind of got life figured out, but you have to be careful in places you want to go. So don't try to sneak into the clubs yet. Wait till you're older. You'll have plenty of time to do that. And going to certain house parties, hey, the party don't start till 12. Nah, listen, we do have curfew. We still have curfew ordinances. But just plan your day, have fun during the day, and try to be home by 10, 11. Because after that time, it's not much good that's out there. Whether it's Albany or Atlanta, it's not much good after 10 at night.
What advice can you give teens to stay out of trouble during the holiday break, but still have a good time?
Make the right choice. Make a good, wise decision that do what's fun, do it with the group, do it with your family, and kind of during the holiday time, instead of trying to get over on others, use this as an opportunity to do something nice for somebody else. And take a break from school. We understand that there's a lot of pressures that put on you during school because some have a lot of activities that they do even afterwards. So take that opportunity to relax, to rest, and socialize, but don't get wild with it. And like I said before, once you get out of school, you'll have plenty of time to do all your wilding out and whatever you want to do. But for teens primarily, leave the drinking and driving alone, leave the drugs alone, because it will, not just can or possibly, but it will affect your mental state. It will affect your physical, and depending on how strong of a substance you use, it could affect your emotional well-being also.
What are the APD goals for bringing safety to the city of Albany during the holidays?
We definitely want to have increased visibility in areas, especially places where people are out shopping. But at the same time, while everyone is out shopping, spending their money, we also need to have visibility in the homes, because we don't want anyone to, you gone all day shopping, you come back home, you put your presents and your gifts and all in the house, then you go to a holiday party, and once you come back home, someone has broken into your house. So our goals are for increased visibility. There are certain areas that we will be doing targeted enforcement, such as places historically that have been burglarized, residential areas and commercial areas, and also places that are prone targets to robberies. So the biggest thing is increased visibility, and and contrary to popular belief, we don't want to run road checks all during the holidays. We won't do that, because we want people to come. We want people to come to Albany to enjoy themselves. We want the citizens of Albany to enjoy themselves. But we know we have to be out there to be seen to help people out more so than hinder people.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Persley of Albany Police Department, for coming in today.
Yes, sir.
Answering a few questions for the holiday tips and teams.
My pleasure.